Jeff Caminiti coming to you from Maple Hill Golf Course today, and I want to talk a little bit about chipping. A lot of people have different questions on, what should I chip with, and just what the technique is. So I want to talk to you today about, I've got two clubs here. I've got a 9-iron and I've got a lob wedge, 60-degree wedge here. And the situation that I'm in here really doesn't make a lot of sense for me to get the ball up in the air as high as I can and fly it all the way to the hole. I've got quite a bit of green to work with. It's an uphill chip shot, and so I'm going to choose the 9 instead of the lob wedge, because the old adage goes is if we can get it on the ground as quickly as possible, the smaller the swing that I have to take. And so it just makes more sense, less room for error, if I take the 9-iron and just bump it up the hill. Okay, let's talk a little bit technique now. What I want to do when I chip a shot is I want to bring my hands down on the club. I want to choke down on the club a little bit. The other thing is I want to do is that I see a lot of people, the biggest mistake that they make is they take too big of a backswing and then they really slow down coming into impact. So it might look something like this, like that, where they really decelerate coming down into the shot. And that's a no-no as well. I want to really feel like you accelerate through the shot. So taking a pitch shot, it might look something more like this, where I feel like the club, it just accelerates through the golf ball. All right. Now, because I'm going to bump this one low, I'm also going to put this back in my stance. I'm going to put my feet a little bit closer together. I'm going to put the ball back in my stance. I'm going to choke down on the club. And then I've just got to try to pick a spot where I want this ball to land. So in this case, I'm going to land it just onto the green and let it roll up, because it's going to come out so low with a 9-iron. So it looks maybe something like this. Set up, put the ball in the back of my stance, choke down on the club, make sure I accelerate through the shot. And you can see how I bump it up, keep it very low to the ground and roll it up there. The next shot we're going to do here, I'm going to show you on how to hit a higher shot when we don't have this much green to work with. Okay, now you can see that we're in a situation here where I don't have very much green to work with. I'm off the green here probably a good 10 yards or so, and the pin is only about 5 paces onto the green. So again, when talking about chipping, do I want to chip with the lob wedge or the 9-iron? There goes the 9-iron. We got to use the 60-degree. So the reason being here, now I need to get this ball as high as I can so it lands softer. I can't afford to run the shot. So this is a little bit harder shot, and it does take and require a little bit of practice. What I want to do that's different here, I still want to choke down on the club like I did on the 9-iron on that bump and run shot, but what I want to do is, instead of putting the ball in the back of my stance, I actually want to put it in the front of my stance. Alright? Now, even though I have a 60-degree here, I'm going to take this club face, I'm going to open it ever so slightly. I'm going to open the club face. When I do that, the club face points to the right, and so I need to adjust for that, and I have to point my body a little bit more to the left. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to try to pull the shot off for you. I'm going to set up with that ball in the front of my stance. I'm going to open up the club face here, and what I feel like I'm going to do is I'm just going to be more steep with this. I'm going to bring the club up and down so it looks more something like this, as opposed to that bump and run shot where it was more like this, if you can see that. Okay, so I'm going to put this ball position up in the front of my stance, open up the club face, try to keep my hands soft on the club, and just land it short on the green. So that ball went up a lot higher, landed a lot softer. Part of it was because of the club choice I made, a 60-degree wedge as opposed to the 9-iron. So a couple different techniques you can see, and club choices that you need to use when considering your best shot to get the ball as close to the pin. For more tips like this, please come see me, Jeff Caminiti, at the beautiful Maple Hill Golf Course. Have a great day.